Hi crafters, welcome to Paulette's Pretty Paper Crafts. I am flying by the seat of my pants and I want to do a fly fishing card really quick for my son because we bought him a bunch of fly fishing stuff for his birthday. And so I'm masking off the line and the hook because I want to draw my own thing in here. This just isn't quite working out the way I want it to. So, excuse me. I think I'm going to go with that. I'm going to put that over on my little trash cup so I don't get in it because I will get into it. So, what I want to do is, because they flip the rod, and I just, one was probably enough. So I think this one might just be like it's laying on the ground. So we'll just leave it like that. I don't know a single thing about the flies, but some of them have like legs. I saw some that looked like frogs. So there's one that looks like a frog, maybe. And then some of them just look like bugs. So maybe I can. This stamp is called Fishing Pole QR1068 by Stampabilities. There's one that maybe looks like a fly, and then they have all these extra little bits that come off of them, and I didn't do a very good job on that one, so I better put some extra marks in there so that looks like that was intentional. Okay, I feel better about that. I also want to, you can see here's where I originally stamped these, and that's okay. I'll save that. I'll use that for somebody as a fishing card. I kind of want, some land here, and I want some water out here. So, okay, I'm going to draw in with this marker my land. This is E35. Okay, I'm going to take some of these. This is one, probably both of these, but they've been the other way, so let's let them sit. I'm going to hold them up for a little bit. Let's go ahead, I'll stick them in there so the ink can drain down. Let's look at, I also want to do some sky, and I really probably need another piece of cardstock. This is one of my new markers, B32 Pale Blue, and it's really darker than what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be really close to the pale Celestine blue, which is B with 4 zeros. And let's take, my blender pen is out of blender solution, and I do actually have some, but that's going to be a little more complicated to fill. So I'm just going to take this Ranger solution, which is alcohol blending solution, and just fade those out a little bit. And I think I was actually picking up some of that black, so I'm going to try not to get into the black too much there. I forget about that. And this one, boy, that does not look right. Okay, that's my sky. And I want kind of some lake water too. This is G43 Pistachio. So, this is Y26. It's one of those colors that I didn't get the refill for. Because they didn't have it. And I will get that later. Okay, where are these two that were draining down? One of them's a little bit. These are the Bic markers in Tiki Hut Tan, and it's perfectly okay to use any alcohol markers you have with your other alcohol markers. Okay, so here's a very long space in the video where I don't talk at all because I'm trying to hurry and get this card done because my husband's waiting on me so we can take all these fly fishing articles that we have purchased over to our son before his birthday actually occurs because he's so excited about this hobby, and he's one of those kids that can just do anything, and he's already investigated it, and he might run out and buy these items. So this was just spur of the moment. Hey, we're going to run this over. And so I sat down to make a card, which really took about an hour. And thankfully, I've downloaded the iMovie app, and I'm doing this voiceover and can edit down. I have speeded up this section, and I hope you guys appreciate that. I know I really love the details, and I love how things progress from one part of the card to another. So I tried to leave as much of that in, but you don't see me, oh, what color should I use, and that kind of thing. So hopefully that just makes these videos a little bit better. You guys can let me know what you think in the comment section. Okay, let's take something like this Y32. And I really didn't mean to get in there on my fly. I need to see if I can bleach some of that out. Oh, and again, I'm picking up that black. Doggone it. I need the Copic multi-liners is what I need. Here's another really long space in the video. I just want to take a moment to note I do not store my Copics here to the left as you see on my desk. This was a recycling idea that I had, and I thought I could stack these little containers in a horizontal fashion on top of each other and have my Copics out on my desk. I was also trying to share my various ink refills for my markers, and I thought this would be an easy way to show what colors I have in each color category, but it was kind of a bust. But it was still sitting here on my desk when I sit down to crunch time make this card. And I store all of my Copics laying down in some of those little kind of storage drawer units, and I'm very pleased with that. That works out really well for me and keeps the ink flowing throughout the markers. And let's clean up the reels a little bit, because I was coloring like a wild woman there. Okay, I want to put a little bit of maybe green on that one. Probably should have put a little green on this frog too. I need a really, let's use the number 0 gray. A really kind of light color to put out here. Finish out my lake water. I really need some pale Celestine blue, but I don't have any. You're going to see here this underlayment of color that I put down really didn't make any difference at all. And that's kind of how things go when I'm just creating from scratch. It progresses from one thing to another. As I'm going along, I realize, oh, well, that didn't really work. And so I just keep adding colors until it gets to a place where I like it. Ultimately, the lake would be surrounded by more land. And see what I mean here? I'm thinking, okay, yeah, this really would have land on the other side, and maybe that'll make my water stand out a little more. But that still really didn't work either. But you'll see later in the video how I rebound. And quite often what happens is I'm going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I don't know what to do, so I just move on to a different section of the card. So now I'm just kind of sketching in with my markers some background trees. And that does help. It's really bringing the card together. This dark green is G99 Olive. So here's another long space in the video. Here I am sketching in all of my shrubbery and background foliage because I still don't know what to do with the water, but it does not matter. I am just of the mindset that I just keep going. There are very few things that I give up on and throw away. If they don't work out and I'm able to start over fairly early in the card, I will save those. I have a drawer that I save that kind of stuff in because inevitably when you come back and look at it later, it's much better than you thought it was in the moment, in the frustration of the time crunch and the moment. So I just keep marching on. And you know, this card turned out just fine. No, it wasn't perfect. No, it wasn't what I had in my mind. But my son thoroughly enjoyed it, and even his wife said, oh my gosh, did you draw all of this? And I was like, yeah. So keep moving forward. People love a handmade, heartfelt card. What would the sky be without a couple of birds flying through? I'm not happy with my water. Let's see, B12 is lighter than B14, so I'm going to go with B12 here. Well, it looks like this marker is pretty much done for as well. Oh, this one is really, really deep. I failed to share all of the colors of the markers that I was using, just because this was a crunch time card. If you see a color that you specifically want to know what it is, just leave me a little note in the comments and I will be sure and get back to you with that color. I think it's more important to use what you have. We all choose different colors. We all have different stuff. I'm certainly going to use whatever I've paid for and invested in, and I think that you should too. And as you see here with my bloopers through the water, you know, you can just keep adding color and eventually it gets okay. So, you know, keep a marching, keep a layering. Technically, I would not put this much ink in this one space, but as it just didn't work, I just kept going, and eventually it got okay. Well, I think that ended up looking a little bit more like a river than a lake. Can bridge the gap there. My browns like a little bit to be desired. I almost need, where's that E70? Browns is definitely something that I need some more of in my colors, just to bridge the gap between some of my colors. There, that's not too bad. And a blue. I need another pale blue. Now we just need a birthday sentiment. I'm going to use this really kind of flirty sentiment that looks like fishing line. This is a happy birthday stamp set from Close to My Heart. It's C1257 and it is retired. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the Memento ink. There's a bunch of junk on my stamp, but that's okay. Wonder if I feel like I should do something else with some of my greens back here. Because you know how when you're looking in the distance, you see all kinds of different greens. So there we go.